BJP leader arrested for comments on profit 4 days after Kanpur clashes. The BJP has a new set of advices and boundaries for its spokespersons and leaders joining TV debates as it faces a huge international backlash over party leader Nupur Sharma's comments on Prophet Muhammad. The Defence Ministry has issued new guidelines broadening the scope of eligible officers for the post of the Chief of Defence Staff of the Indian Armed Forces. Any serving or retired Lieutenant General, Air Marshal and Vice Admiral under the age of 62 years will be eligible for the post of the CDS. And major rates hike expected on Wednesday. Markets fall. Crucial RBI monetary policy statement on Wednesday. Growth forecast, inflation forecast also on the cards. Banks hiking EMI rates could further increase. Subhash Chandra, the media baron contesting in the Rajya Sabha elections from Rajasthan, has claimed that he is going to win through cross-voting by Congress MLAs. Meanwhile, the Grand Old Party complains to the state EC about horse trading. Maharashtra is seeing a spike in COVID cases. Over 1,800 new cases in the state on Tuesday, 81% more than the previous day and the highest since February. Meanwhile, maximum city Mumbai has crossed the 1,000 mark, highest since January. And a breakthrough cancer trial at Sloan Kettering in New York. The cancer vanishes for all 18 patients in a drug trial. 18 rectal cancer patients were given the same drug for 6 months, and as a result of the treatment, cancer was completely vanished in every patient. A very warm welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Shanakshi Chakravarti. The top story, a BJP leader arrested on Tuesday for derogatory comments on Prophet Muhammad 4 days after the violence that erupted in Uttar Pradesh's Kanpur. Harshit Srivastava, an office bearer of the BJP youth wing, was trying to spoil the atmosphere through his objectionable posts, the police have confirmed. I quote, "We will act against anyone who tries to play with religious sentiments," said the Kanpur Police Commissioner Vijay Meena. NDTV's Alok Pandey with the details.
Just to refresh the memory of our viewers, on Friday there were clashes between two communities in Kanpur over a market bandh call that was given over the now suspended spokesperson Nupur Sharma's derogatory remarks on the Prophet. During that, there were clashes, there was stone pelting, etc. So the police in that case have arrested over 50 people. They filed an FIR against 1,500 named and unnamed people, and they've even put up posters of alleged rioters with their faces on different parts of Kanpur. And there have been these questions, Vishnu, as to whether this action that was happening was one-sided and only one particular community was being targeted, whereas the clash was between two groups of people. But now the police say, and the police commissioner of Kanpur has issued a statement saying that anyone who attempts to breach the peace will be dealt with strictly. And he says that that is why this person has also been arrested. For now he is in jail, and like I said, in the original Friday clash, close to 50 people have been arrested.
The diplomatic outrage over the remarks on Prophet Muhammad by former BJP leaders Nupur Sharma and Naveen Kumar Jindal continued even as the government sought to diffuse the anger in various countries, asserting that it respects all religions. The BJP has suspended Sharma and expelled Naveen Jindal over the controversial comments. Back home too, there is opposition. The leaders are calling for stricter action against the duo. Amid sharp reactions over the remarks, a spokesperson for the UN Secretary General, Antonio Guterres, has said that we strongly encourage and respect intolerance for all religions as per reports. Take a look.
Opposition voices today grew louder for the arrest of two former BJP spokespersons, Nupur Sharma and Naveen Kumar Jindal. From two ex-chief ministers of UP to Kerala's Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan, whose state sends a huge number of workers to Gulf countries that have expressed outrage over the controversy. Mr. Vijayan tweeted, It's high time to raise a unanimous voice against the forces of bigotry. A major part of the controversy over the comments played out online. Some Twitter users posted earlier hate speeches by repeat offenders like Yati Narsinghanand with English and Arabic subtitles, saying they were doing it for a wider reach and to point out what they called the BJP's hypocrisy. Many BJP supporters, on the other hand, trended the hashtag Shame on BJP, blaming the party for buckling under what they called undue pressure. The police in Thane near Mumbai have summoned Nupur Sharma on June 22 for questioning after a case was registered against her. The Delhi police gave her preventive security after reports of threats. In Uttar Pradesh, where the comments by the ex-BJP spokespersons led to a clash in Kanpur last Friday, police in the communally sensitive Aligarh town registered an FIR against this right-wing leader, Pooja Shakun Pandey of the Akhil Bharat Hindu Mahasabha, for her recent controversial remarks about Friday prayers. Ms. Pandey has been arrested twice in the last 2 years by the Aligarh police for similar statements, but got bail in both cases. With Adnan Khan and Rajesh Gupta, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
The ruling BJP has set a new set of advices for its spokespersons and leaders joining television debates as its government faces a huge international backlash over party leader Nupur Sharma's comments on Prophet Muhammad. What are these new advices? Let's take a look. These advices in fact include only authorized people to be cleared by the BJP media department to appear on television, no comment on anyone's religion to be made, no comment on religious heads, and measured language to be used, no need to get excited or provoked, inquire and read up on issues, inquire about the party line before debating on an issue, do not fall into anyone else's trap, stick to issues central to the BJP, and lastly, focus on debates around Garib Kalyan. The shocking story from Hyderabad of the Hyderabad gang rape case. The minor son of a MLA of the AIMIM party has been named as an accused in the Hyderabad gang rape case that has set off outrage and political clashes in Telangana. All 6 accused, 1 adult and 5 minors, are now in custody. They have been accused under the POCSO Act and sections of the Penal Code for outraging of modesty and criminal assault. It is said there is also sufficient evidence that 5 of them raped the girl, and stringent action now against pubs that allow minors. Last week, BJP MLA Raghunandan Rao had released a video clip and photographs of the teen and her assailants, alleging the presence of the MLA's son in a car with her. The police, he alleged, was engaged in a cover-up.
Punishment not less than 20 years or imprisonment for life till death. అంటే 14 years లైఫ్ ఇంప్రిజన్మెంట్ అంటారు, కానీ దీంట్లో ఇంప్రిజన్మెంట్ ఫర్ లైఫ్ టిల్ డెత్ అంటే చనిపోయే వరకు జైల్లోనే ఉండాలి, లేకపోతే డెత్ పెనాల్టీ. ఈ 3 ఉన్నాయి. ఈ 5 కూడా దీంట్లో ఈ సెక్షన్స్లో వస్తారు. దీంట్లో మేము స్పెషల్ కోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది. మేము మా ఎవిడెన్సెస్ చాలా గట్టిగా ఉన్నాయి.
Have so much of attention other than the fact that of course it was a horrendous crime and it happened in the heart of Hyderabad, and no one really expects in a city which is spoken of as very safe for women. Yes, the Hyderabad Police Commissioner announced a short while ago that of the 6 accused, in fact 5 of them are minors, and that's the reason why they are not revealing the identity. But I must add that there is an important aspect, political aspect to this as well, because the 6th person has been added after a video that was in fact released by a BJP MLA who has also been booked in fact for having released a video of minors. But based on that video, it appeared that what the BJP leader had suggested was that this person in the video is in fact the son of an MIM MLA from the city, and that he was seen sexually molesting this girl inside a car, and since she's a minor, this is a case of, there is no question of a consent, and therefore he has also been booked under 354, outraging the modesty of a woman, and also 323, assault, and also POCSO sections. The rest of them, the 5 of them, who were said to be now have participated in the act of the gangrape itself. They have been charged under 376D, which of course is gangrape, and also under 354, 323 sections of POCSO, and also under the IT Act. And what we understand from the Commissioner is that the most stringent of punishment, which means it could be a death penalty, it could be 20 years in jail, or it could be life in jail. For till the time that they live, they go to jail, they stay in jail. So those are the kind of sections that the CP is talking about. So he has revealed all those details, and all 6 are now in police custody, 5 of them being minors. Of course, they will have to be presented before a juvenile court and then sent to what is called as safe custody. The other persons, other than Malik, the only one who's been identified, goes to jail. Of course, once again, the police will seek their police custody in order to be able to continue questioning for. So that also they have done yesterday for the 4 people who are already arrested, and now they are likely to seek for the 2 more who have been taken into custody.
Shifting focus to the Defence Ministry that has issued new guidelines broadening the scope of eligible officers for the post of the Chief of Defence Staff of the Indian Armed Forces. Any serving or retired Lieutenant General, Air Marshal and Vice Admiral under the age of 62 years will be eligible for the post of the Chief of Defence Staff. This essentially opens the doors for the second highest active rank officers of the tri-services to possibly supersede their seniors, the Chief of the Army, Air Force or Navy, to take on the role, and widens the pool from which a CDS can be appointed. Vishnu Shom with the details.
Lieutenant General ranked officers, either those who are serving or those who have actually retired, to be also included in the selection process. Also those individuals who have been service chiefs, they are also allowed to actually be part of the process as long as they are of the age of 62. Even serving chiefs can become Chief of Defence Staff. But I think it's really interesting that Lieutenant General ranked officers and their equivalent in the Navy and the Air Force are potentially allowed. Why would the government do this unless they had somebody of that rank in mind?
The Reserve Bank of India, now there's more coming up on Wednesday, where the Reserve Bank of India's monetary policy statement will be released on Wednesday. Priyanshi takes us through what's expected and the focus areas.
Sonia, RBI's monetary policy statement that will come out tomorrow comes at a critical time when we're facing an 8-year high inflation. Now, the focus is on rate hikes, inflation and growth forecast. Let's take you through these key points. The Reserve Bank in May hiked its interest rate by 40 basis points, and the RBI governor has indicated that further hikes are likely as the RBI prioritizes targeting inflation. So another hike seems certain. The only question is by how much? A hike of 25 to 50 basis points is expected by analysts. Now, how does this impact you? RBI's repo rate is the interest rate commercial banks have to pay whenever they borrow money from the Reserve Bank. So banks further passed RBI's rate hike to consumers, the latest being HDFC that hiked its rates by 35 basis points. With a further hike from the RBI, the EMIs we have to pay could go further up. Home loans will get more expensive. The next important point is the inflation projection. RBI raised inflation projection in April from 4.5% to 5.7%. We know that fuel prices drive the price rise, and Brent crude prices have gone up by 9% since RBI's last announcement. So the Reserve Bank might take up its inflation forecast, meaning even further price rise expected to pinch us. Now, last but not the least, the growth forecast. Rate hikes hurt economic growth as they reduce the demand in the economy. In April, RBI cut its GDP forecast to 7.2% from 7.8% for the current year. So another big question is whether the economy's growth projections could be lowered even further. Now, amid all of these questions and concerns, markets lost almost 1% today. Sensex lost 567 points to end at 55,107, while Nifty went down by 153 points to settle at 16,416. The rupee also weakened to 77.71 per dollar, which is very close to its record low of 77.73 per dollar. Now, what are the reasons? Fears of further inflation, rate hikes and recession. All eyes are currently on RBI's announcements tomorrow. Back to you.
Well, and with that, the World Bank has cut global growth outlook. The global growth expected to slow sharply from 5.7% in 2021 to 2.9% this year. India's economic growth forecast also cut to 7.5% for the financial year 23 versus 8% projected earlier. The World Bank president says for many countries, recession will be hard to avoid. Shifting focus to Maharashtra, the Maha contest for the 6th Rajya Sabha seat. 3 high-profile and crucial votes in Maharashtra. The ED opposes bail for Maharashtra jailed MLAs to vote. The Maharashtra math looks like something like this. The BJP with 105, Shiv Sena 55, the NCP at 54, the Congress 44. Listen in to what the Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has to say and my colleague Sohit with all the details.
असं संबोधन काय केलं सांगण्यासारखं असतं तर तुम्हाला आतमध्ये बोलूनच केलं असतं ना. त्याच्यामुळे एवढंच सांगेल की कोणी किती काही जरी प्रयत्न केले तरी महाविकास आघाडीचे चारीच्या चारी उमेदवार खासदार म्हणून दिल्लीत जाणारच, राज्यसभेत जाणार.
A meeting of all the MLAs of the Mahavikas Aghadi government, which includes the MLAs of Shiv Sena, Congress and NCP, along with the MLAs who are independent or from smaller parties supporting the MVA candidates contesting the Rajya Sabha election, was called on Tuesday at the Trident Hotel in Mumbai. And after that, what we can say is that the leaders are now leaving from after this meeting has happened. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has said that in this meeting that there are 4 candidates out of the total 6 candidates of Mahavikas Aghadi government, and it is the responsibility of all these MLAs to ensure that all of their 4 candidates win. Now there are several senior leaders present in this meeting, which includes Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, NCP Chief Sharad Pawar. From Congress there are senior leaders. In fact, we can see former Chief Minister as well as senior Congress leader Prithviraj Chauhan, who is just leaving after this meeting. And in this meeting what has happened is that Chief Minister has told that we have the numbers with us, and based on these numbers we have to ensure that all the 4 seats are won by the Mahavikas Aghadi government. Now this is similar to what happened in 2019 during the MVA formation. Even at that time what we saw is that a meeting similar to this happened, where a show of strength was done by the MVA leaders, and that is what is similarly happening today as well. And on your screens right now you would be able to see former Chief Minister of Maharashtra Prithviraj Chauhan, who is leaving, and similarly all the other senior leaders have also started to leave. So Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray via this meeting tried to show that they have the numbers with them and they will be able to win, to make 4 of their candidates win. So it is an important thing that is happening, a show of strength that is happening, and the meeting happened on Tuesday, and post this meeting now the leaders are leaving and they are confident that they will be winning. However, these leaders are not going to their own constituencies, they will be staying in separate hotels. So Shiv Sena will have their leaders in a hotel, same goes with NCP and Congress, and they will be staying in that hotel. And this is similar to what happened in 2019 elections, and this is a way that through which Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray is sending a signal that they have the numbers and they will be able to win the 4 seats that they are contesting out of the total 6 seats for which the voting is going to happen on 10th of June. In Mumbai with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, Sohit Mishra, NDTV.
And from Maharashtra to the race to the Rajya Sabha in Rajasthan, the fight there appears to now be open admissions of cross-voting. Subhash Chandra, the media baron contesting in the Rajya Sabha elections in Rajasthan, has claimed that he is going to win through cross-voting by Congress MLAs. Meanwhile, the Congress complains to the State Election Commission about horse trading. My colleague Harsha with all the details.
Yoga and magic. That's how the Congress and the BJP are keeping their MLAs occupied, preventing thoughts of jumping ship as they huddle together at a resort in Udaipur and Jaipur. Congress MLAs and Randeep Singh Surjewala enjoyed dinner and an evening of magic with Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot, whose father was once a magician. But the real surprise today was independent-backed Subhash Chandra, media baron and dark horse in the race, who may just pull a rabbit out of the hat, as he alleged that 4 Congress MLAs will cross-vote for him.
देखिए इसके अंदर जो मैं कह रहा हूँ 4 लोग जो हैं वो अलग-अलग दलों के लोग हैं और 8 लोग जो मैं कह रहा हूँ जो क्रॉस वोटिंग करेंगे वो तो कांग्रेस के ही।
Sachin Pilot told NDTV that Subhash Chandra was being a fool.
No one is going to fall for his trap, no matter what he does. This shows that he's clearly desperate and he's clutching at straws. To my mind, there is no way he would have won earlier. There is no way he'll win on the 10th.
At any rate, it is clear Rajasthan is headed for a photo finish. And clearly the Congress is feeling the heat as it complained to the State Election Commission about horse trading.
ये आखिर वोट लाएंगे कहाँ से? ये वोट सिर्फ और सिर्फ हॉर्स ट्रेडिंग करके कोई भ्रष्टाचार करके अनैतिक आचरण करके उस तरीके से वोट लाने की कोशिश करेंगे.
It's going to be a nail-biting finish at this Rajya Sabha election on the 10th of June. And it's going to take more than yogic maneuvers on the part of the BJP and magic on Ashok Gehlot's part to make sure that respective candidates win. In Jaipur, Harsha Kumari Singh, NDTV.
Welcome back. Now, for the first time in history, cancer vanishes from every patient in a drug trial. New York Times reporting 18 rectal cancer patients given the same drug for 6 months and cancer totally gone. Patients given dostarlimab, which acts as a substitute antibodies in human body. Now, the Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York says the first time this has happened in the history of cancer. Patients will not need chemotherapy or radiation as follow-up treatment. The study has been published in the New England Journal of Medicine. For all the tech news now, the Apple Worldwide Developers Conference of 2022, my colleague Rubina with the 7 major announcements. Take a look.
We're going to push our platforms further than ever for our developers and our users. So let's get started by sending it over to Craig.
Apple's annual developer conference WWDC is here, and along with it comes a host of new hardware and software goodies for Apple fans. 7 major announcements from Apple's WWDC event. Let's go. Major changes coming to the iPhone with iOS 16. A brand new lock screen will be the most visible to everyone. You can now add widgets, photo filters, and even have multiple lock screens to suit your use. Second, struggling with notifications on the big screen? Fret not, they're now located at the bottom of the screen for easy access. Third, Apple is taking personal security seriously with iOS 16. You can now remove any access or control over your phone's location, messages, and more with one tap. Fourth, iPad OS will now make your M1-based iPad a laptop with desktop-class multitasking, external monitor support. Fifth, Watch OS is finally getting support for sleep tracking, more robust exercise metrics, and most importantly, better heart health data. Sixth, coming soon to macOS is the ability to use your iPhone as a webcam. Moreover, you will even get features like center stage, portrait mode, and a cool top-down view, making use of all those AI-enabled neural codes. It's here. The long-awaited MacBook Air refresh brings an M2 chipset, new design, and a notch display, all for 1,19,900 rupees starting next month. Rubina Mungia, NDTV.